How you doing? I'm Darren with Ash Kickin' Barbecue, and today we're talking pork tenderloin. Now, pork tenderloin is not to be confused with pork loin. They're two completely different cuts. In fact, this is often referred to as the filet mignon of pork. It's super tender, it's super delicious when cooked properly. You do not want to overcook this cut of meat, so I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to cook it today. We're going to be cooking on our Pit Boss Pro Series 1600. We're going to be running Cookinpellets Apple Mash pellets because, let's be real, pork and applewood go together hand in hand. So let's bring you in and show you how we're going to prep these pork tenderloins. Okay guys, you can see I have two pork tenderloins here. They look absolutely awesome. I'm really excited to cook these. I have not done a video on these yet. So I'm just going to begin by taking off some of this loose fat and this stuff that's going to kind of burn up and not cook right. So I'm just going to get under this silver skin right here, and we're just going to go ahead and take that off. We don't want to bite into that. It's not going to make for good mouthfeel. So we're just going to go ahead and take that off. And we're going to do that with all of the silver skin on here. So I'll get that taken care of, and then I will bring you back. Okay guys, you can see I have my pork tenderloins trimmed up. We didn't go too crazy. We just took off some of the fat and some of the silver skin because we're not going to be searing these. You can actually grill these and that'd be fine to leave some of that stuff on. But because we're just smoking these, we're going to go ahead and take that off and have a better end result because, let's be real, everything's better with a smoke bath. So we're going to start off with a nice base rub of this Tailgater's Barbecue Party Rub. I absolutely love this rub as a base coat on everything, and pork is no exception. So we're just going to go ahead and just kind of give it a nice even base coat on both pork tenderloins here. And just kind of press it in, roll it over. We're going to get all of our sides here nice and evenly. We're going to go ahead and finish seasoning this up, and it already smells delicious. This is going to be absolutely awesome. Okay, so we have our base coat down. Now we're going to come in with a barbecue rub, and I'm going to be using Mojo Barbecue. Go ahead and just give ourselves a nice even coat. Go ahead and press that in. That's looking pretty good there. Go ahead and repeat it with the other one. Sure to get your ends. And you can go a little heavy with your rubs. Obviously, if there's a lot of salt in there, be careful, but we're not getting any flavor on the inside of this. I don't believe in brining these or injecting these. I think we want the pork flavor to kind of shine through in the center. So we're gonna have a nice flavorful bite on the outside, but once we get into the center, we're really gonna be able to taste that pork. And all I'm gonna do is just kind of come in and roll this over and pick up some of this off the board here. But I am gonna cook on these cooking racks. You know, I'm a big advocate of this. It makes it easy for transport in and out of the house. So we're just gonna go ahead and get that coated up like such. And get that one on there. And we're just gonna let these sweat for a little bit. We're gonna fire up the Pit Boss Pro Series 1600 to 250 degrees. These aren't gonna take too long, and you definitely wanna keep an eye on them. So I would say you wanna be checking them every half hour, which is what we're gonna do today. We wanna really take this to about 140 degrees and then pull them off and let them rest and carry over to that 145 so they're not dry. But I also, probably once it hits about 130 degrees, I'm gonna go ahead and glaze these with a barbecue sauce so we get really nice barbecue flavor on these. So we're gonna be checking our temps every half hour. So I'm gonna let these sit and sweat, get the Pit Boss Pro Series 1600 fired up with the Cookinpellets Apple Mash blend, and I will meet you guys outside at the pit. Okay guys, you can see we have our pork tenderloins on the Pit Boss Pro Series 1600. We have it set at 250 degrees. We're just gonna go ahead and let these smoke for about a half hour, and then we'll come out and check the internal temperature and see where we're at. Like I said, very important to keep your eye on the internal temp on these. You do not wanna overcook them, they'll be dry. So I'm gonna get this shut down and I'll bring you back in about a half an hour. Okay guys, it's been 30 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and check the internal temps on our pork tenderloin here. They're looking absolutely delicious. In there with my Thermapen NK4, you can see we're at about 114 degrees and about 117 degrees 114 right there. So cooking pretty evenly. I'm just gonna go ahead and rotate these just to make sure we're cooking completely even. And I'm gonna check on these about every 10 minutes until we get up to temp. I don't think it's necessary to put a probe in there, but I am gonna come out and check these every 10 minutes, and then I will bring you back when they're done and I'll let you know how long it's been, and then we'll get these glazed up, let them finish up, get them inside, and we'll do a taste test. So we'll see you guys when it's time to get them off. Okay guys, it's been about another 25 minutes. I just temped these. We're sitting at about 130 to 131 degrees on our pork tenderloins here. You can see we have some great color. They're looking great. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just get some sauce on them because I want this sauce to set for a little while. And this is just Head Country apple habanero sauce. So we're just gonna go ahead and get these sauced up. You can see that makes a beautiful glaze on there. We're gonna go ahead and let this sauce set until these hit about 140 degrees, and we're gonna get them inside and let them rest. So I'll bring you back when these are reading 140 degrees and it's time to get them off. Okay guys, it's been about another 15-20 minutes. We have just hit 141 and 142 degrees in our pork tenderloin. We're over that 140 threshold a little bit, but they look delicious. It's cool enough inside. I'm gonna get these inside, get them tented in some foil, and then let them rest and carry over to that 145 degrees. So I'm gonna get these in and bring you back when it's time for a taste test. All right guys, so it's been about 15 minutes. We just went ahead and let these rest loosely covered in foil, and we just wanted to carry over to that 145 degrees. So they look good, they smell amazing. That applewood just smells phenomenal, and I can't wait to try this anymore. So I'm gonna bring you in and we're gonna slice into this and see how we did. Hopefully they're juicy, fingers crossed. So let's get in and let's see how these look. All right guys, so we're gonna dive into this one and see how it looks. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut straight down the center, and look at that, cutting like absolute butter, nice and juicy. You can see that juice in there. That looks absolutely awesome, not overcooked at all. We got a nice little smoke ring, and our cook time was only about an hour and a half on there. So absolutely juicy, cooked to perfection. Let's go ahead and slice this up, a few of these, and just let the weight of the knife just cut right through. That's beautiful. Yep, and that's looking absolutely delicious. Look at the moisture in that thing. I mean, that's juicy. It's cooked perfectly. I can feel how tender it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this sliced up. And of course, this end over here may be a little bit more done, which is great if you have someone who's a little bit picky. But I think it's cutting nice, and it's still gonna be delicious, and yeah, still plenty juicy. So, all right, I'm gonna bring you out and we're gonna go ahead and give this a taste test. I am very excited to give this a try, so let's do this. All right, guys, so it is now the moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and give this a taste test. Just gonna cut a piece in half here. Very juicy, very tender. Cheers. That is absolutely delicious. It melts in your mouth like butter. I mean, that is the filet mignon of pork, and it is so good. You get that savoriness right off the bat from the Tailgater's barbecue party rub. Then you get that barbecue just hit from that Mojo barbecue rub. You get some sweet from the apple habanero rub, and then you get just the slightest bit of heat dancing on your tongue when you're done. That is a great recipe. I absolutely love that. If you've never tried pork tenderloin, I highly recommend it. It's super easy. We did this on a weeknight. You just go ahead and season it up, get it on any cooker you have at 250 degrees, and let it smoke until it hits 130 degrees. Sauce it up with your favorite sauce. Let it hit that 140 to 142 degree range. Pull it off. Loosely tent it in foil. Let it carry over for about 10-15 minutes to that 145 degrees. And what you're left with is one of the best cuts on the pig. Second to bacon, because bacon is king. So guys, I highly recommend you try this. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time.